Two. Welcome to This Week in Indian Hill Brave Sports here on the all-new IndianHillBraves.org and ESPN Media powered by Sidearm Sports. I'm Jason Griefer. Once again, we're joined by Indian Hill Athletic Director Brian Phelps. Brian, good to talk to you once again. A lot of positive things going on up there right now at Indian Hill High School, are they not?
Great to see you. Yeah, no, there's a lot of good things, and we're excited to see what the next couple of weeks brings us.
A lot of stuff to get to here on the show today. Let's begin with big one this weekend, the cross country in the CHL championships coming up here just ahead. So everything's been leading up towards this. We've talked in the last few weeks, seemingly heading in the right direction, building good momentum there. How has training gone leading up in the days ahead of time there? How do they feel about it, and what are the coaches' expectations?
Well, it's been good. I know that our coach, Sue Savage, has really been proud of our kids, and it feels like every meet there are new PRs, and we will run at the Christ Church out in Mason for the CHL championship following the GCL meet. So it'll be a great opportunity for us to see where we stack up in the league, and I think our coaches and kids are pretty confident that they're going to do well.
And we'll certainly hope that's the case as well as we see those results come in there at the league championships. There should be an interesting one, really good competition throughout the league, no doubt, all season long. Let's talk about your volleyball team here. Playoff draw has already been announced. They're going to be a 5 seed in the draw. They will take on New Richmond on Saturday, October 24th in the second round there as they are through there. So nevertheless, they know their playoff matchup, but very busy week to conclude the regular season. You've got Ross, you've got Finneytown, and also league champ Wyoming, and we'll actually be broadcasting that match against Wyoming on WatchHSports.tv coming up a little bit later on this week. And in fact, that'll be on Thursday. As a matter of fact, we'll be up there. We'll be up there taking that broadcast for you again. WatchHSports.tv. But nevertheless, first chance here, we're getting to see the volleyball team on the broadcast on WatchHSports.tv. And, of course, attendance has been limited all season long due to restrictions, of course. For fans that are tuning into this broadcast here, your team's, again, taking on league power in Wyoming, and they've got the league on lockdown, so to speak, for a long, long time. But nevertheless, what can Braves fans expect to see from your team in this match against Wyoming?
Yeah, they've been a great program for a long time. Probably one of the best matches we've played all year when we played them earlier in the season. So we know there's a big mountain to climb when we're facing them in volleyball for sure. But, we brought a little bit of confidence knowing that they brought out the best in us the last time. And, you never know what happens. But, yeah, it's great. Again, great program, and we're excited to play them.
Yeah, very excited to cover that matchup there. Two very good teams there, no doubt. But still have other business to take care of as well. So busy week again to wrap up the regular season. Let's move on to the pitch, and let's first talk about your boys soccer team. Finished CHL play, got a 4-1 win over Taylor on Saturday. Now you're going to go out into the non-conference to finish the regular season. But they already know their fate as well in the playoffs. They're going to be the number 3 seed in their part of the bracket. They'll take on Batavia, who is winless on the year. They're 0-13-1. So, again, good chance to get a playoff win there before you could potentially move into to round 2. But you're going to get Seven Hills and then Columbus DeSales this week ahead of the playoffs there. So, again, we talked about getting that win over Taylor, get yourself going in the right direction. And now that you're going to face teams that you're not as familiar with going forward, how important was that win for this team going in now to this final stretch of the regular season and potentially into the playoffs, where you're going to likely see teams every time out that they're not as familiar with?
Yeah, that's right. The Taylor win was a huge win for us. They're playing really good soccer. They've had a talented team this year. Going out to play on their pitch, it's a little different than what we're used to. It's just size-wise, and it's a grass field, and I think they really use that to their advantage. They're used to playing on that field, and they actually got the first goal. So, when they're up 1-0, kind of looking at each other like, okay, either here's the adversity that we talk about, and we're either going to rebound and come through it, or we're going to be on the wrong side of the scoreboard. So really proud of our guys to be down 1-0 at a tough place to play, a good team. and to win 4-1. Really a huge win for us to finish out league play. We'll have 2 good games to kind of help get us prepared for the tournament at Seven Hills, and Columbus DeSales is one of the top teams in the state just about every year. So we'll finish up with them, and then, take care of business with Batavia, hopefully, and we'll see what happens. And all of a sudden we could find ourselves playing Wyoming again down the line to move on. And we feel like we played a really good match with them just last week. So, we've been talking about it all year. It's been a tough season for the boys, not the normal kind of year from a record standpoint, but they think they've been doing a lot of things well and getting better at the right time. And we've kind of said we could be that sleeper team in the tournament that sneaks up on some teams.
Yeah, playing as well as they have as of late, trending in the right direction. As you said, could be a team that somebody's not going to look forward to seeing in the bracket. Make no mistake about it. Over on the girls' side, you still got a lot to play for here in the regular season. We'll talk about the playoff draw here in a moment, but you still got a chance at a league title here. Now you've got to win on Wednesday against Wyoming, and that's another match we're actually going to broadcast on WatchHSSports.tv. So I'm looking forward to that one as well. If you're able to knock off Wyoming and then have Marymount trip up against Madeira and lose, you've got a share of the league title. So still a lot in front of them there. So obviously, Coach Dunlap's going to be looking at this. We got to take care of business against Wyoming, and Wyoming is always very good. We know how good they are on the boys' side. The girls' side, they're right there. They're competitive every year as well. What are they looking for in that match to shore up, and then ahead of the match against Seven Hills on Saturday?
Yeah, the Wyoming game, it brings out a little extra in us, and it doesn't matter what anybody says. It does. That's an exciting game for our kids. I'm sure it's an exciting game for their side as well. But you said it. We know what's in front of us. We have a chance to knock off Wyoming. Madeira is a good club too, and you never know. They trip up Marymount. They're big rivals. So those are 4 teams that year in and year out, anything can happen. So the girls have had a great year. The few losses they've had have all been very competitive games. We're excited to see what happens on Wednesday. And then, we'll go to Seven Hills on Saturday to finish out the regular season and also take on Batavia in the first round of the tournament. And our girls expect to be playing for a while. Amy Dunlap, our coach, just does an amazing job. She has a great staff. She has total buy-in from the girls. They're going to play hard every single match. And what's nice for them is they've had some recent success, as most know, at winning state championships. So they're battle-tested. This particular team is battle-tested, have been there, done that. So they know what it takes. And I like where we are, and I'm excited to see how far we can get.
As you touched on there, the playoff draw again for the girls, they know what they're going to do. They're the 3 seed. They're going to take on Batavia in the first round. And I got to say, I love this draw that the girls got here. You've got a real opportunity to make a run here. You get Batavia in round 1 on Tuesday, October 20th. If you're fortunate to get through there, Bethel Tate in round 2. They're the 13 seed. So you'll have in theory, you'll be the favorite going to that one. But the thing I love too is looking beyond that in the third round, you've got a potential rematch looming with Summit. The two teams battled early in the season to a 1-1 draw. So a really good opportunity could be looming in round 3 there. But again, like you said, and from my perspective, and maybe you've had a chance to talk to Coach about this, maybe you haven't, but I love this draw for your team. And I think they've got a real chance to make a really long run in the playoffs, don't you?
Yeah, we do as well. And, you never want to look past the first couple of rounds for sure. But we had a great match. It was at our place with Summit. Played to a tie, played to a draw. So we know we're fairly equal teams. And we're excited to see how that plays out. But like I said, we feel like, and Summit's in the same position as well, that battle tested, been there, done that. We'll see what happens on the pitch. But it is a really good draw for us. I think we're really excited how it panned out.
And we'll be looking forward to seeing them on the pitch again on Wednesday against Wyoming, and still have a chance to claim a share of the league title. So fans will make sure they want to tune in to WatchHSSports.tv on Wednesday night. Indian Hill versus Wyoming. There will be on the broadcast of that. Let's move on to your tennis team, and They go to the sectional, and you've just got I'm looking at you right now as we're doing this on Zoom, and you've just got that look in your face like, yep, they just do what they do. We see the results come in. Bella Kirby just steamrolls all the way through to the title. Wins 5 matches, wins the first 4, 6-love, 6-love, gets bored in the final and wins 6-1, 6-love. So she wins the sectional there. Brooke Arrington third. You get a doubles title, third place in doubles. Pretty good, huh?
Yeah, our coach actually got married on Saturday.
Oh,
and
all right.
So I was the guy.
Clearly.
I felt like that it was totally me that got these girls through. So, but you know what? It was a lot of fun. The weather was great out at the ATP. Bella Kirby she just played really well. Brooke Arrington, only a freshman, played really 2 good matches. The girl from CHCA is tough, and then she beat Wyoming's #1 single to finish third, and just good stuff. Our doubles team, like you said, a first and a third. We're actually heading to Eaton right now. Mm-hmm. I'm going to follow the bus up in a little bit to see who moves on for the team state tournament. Hopefully, by later this afternoon, we're Final Four in the state as a team. So the girls are doing great. They're fun to watch. It's a great group. We'll see how far we can get. We thought we got kind of a tough district draw, to be honest, but to get there, you got to beat good players anyway. So we'll see what happens on Thursday and hopefully Saturday of districts.
When you're filling in there as a coach for this team in the sectional, and you know how good they are, they know how good they are you actually giving them advice, or are they just kind of looking at you like, we're good, we got this?
No, not at all. I'm trying to stay out of the way and try not to mess anything up. And our doubles team early, they were cruising pretty well. So since the other coach was talking to their players, I thought, yeah, you know what, I'm going to go up and tie. And I just said, the blue court, try to keep it in the lines, keep hustling. You're doing great. And, a little bit of a smirk from them. But I've really enjoyed being around that group. They're, clearly they don't need to hear anything from me. They know what they need to do. I was there as the #1 fan of the day that, wasn't a parent. And, if they needed a water or something, I'd go try to find it for them. But that's pretty much the role that I took.
You're a sectional champion coach. Come on, give yourself some more credit for that.
That's right.
But nevertheless, it's easy to smile and laugh when they're with your singles and your doubles are as dominant as they were there, and they'll move on from there. Let's move on here and talk about field hockey. Talked the last couple of weeks how it's been kind of a bit of a struggle. Hit a couple of bumps in the road there. A couple of losses they had were in overtime, but they've seemed to have righted the ship once again. They've won 3 straight, and they've got Walnut Hills coming up this Tuesday here. Is there one specific thing that they've been able to get back to get back on the winning track again, or has it been just a matter of just cleaning up a few little things here and there?
Yeah, as we talked about, I don't think we've done anything differently. They've played kind of the same field hockey. We played some really good teams and lost in overtime and 1-goal games, and putting the ball in the back of the net helps in that stretch. We weren't scoring as much as we typically have been, but yeah. It's such a fun team. We have some really good offense. We're led by some great seniors. Our goalie's playing great. Our defense, so all of a sudden you start talking about your kids, and it's the whole team. In every kind of phase, they're doing their job. So we were excited to be the 3 seed behind Mount Notre Dame and Ursuline. Those were the 2 teams that beat us. Mm-hmm. And again, in overtime, the Mount Notre Dame, and 1 goal, with Ursuline. And we host St. Ursula Academy first. Those have been 2 good games for us. It's hard to beat a team 3 times. We know that, but we're thankful to be playing at home and hosting them, and we'll just see. We'll see if we can get out of Cincinnati here and move on. But our kids have just done such a good job. We all want it to end with the state championship, but whenever it ends, we're going to be super proud of the season they've had, and it's been really good.
Field hockey is not a sport that obviously gets a lot of attention because a lot of schools don't have a field hockey team. So, with that being said, you talked about the teams that are there, Ursuline, Mount Notre Dame, what have you, and the challenge it's going to be to get out of Cincinnati to move on beyond that. Just how difficult is this Cincinnati region as far as field hockey goes to not only compete in but win in, and then subsequently in the playoffs advance out of to try to win a state title?
Yeah, it's tough, and you said it, with not a ton of schools having it. The facts are we're one of the smallest schools that are playing. When we're talking about Ursuline or Mount Notre Dame, they have twice as many kids as us. And in any sport, when you are competing against schools that are just a lot bigger, that kind of makes the chances a little slimmer. So, those have been great programs year in and year out. It's going to be tough for us to year in and year out to move on. But hopefully this is one of those special teams that finds a way and, is playing for a few more weeks. And it's tough. Cincinnati's a good region. We know Columbus is really tough. Yet, although there are few field hockey teams, it seems like, 90% of them are really good. So, I guess schools that decide to have it because they know they're really competitive. So, who knows? Maybe this is our year. It would be great if it is. And if it's not, then, like I said, we're really excited about the season we've had, and we're excited about the kids we have coming back and the future of field hockey here at Indian Hill.
And that's good to see that it's not just a one-year thing. That the program is set up for years to come. That's what you want long term. Let's move on to the Lynx and boys golf out at the districts there. If things just didn't really seem like they added up for you guys. It's a little off here and there. The team finishes 6th overall. Of course, only the top 3 teams go beyond the districts. And looking at it, of course, it had to be Marymount, Madeira, and Indian Hill finishing, right there, 5, 6, and 7, because you three just can't get away from each other. Unfortunately, though, this time it's not going to be enough to move on. And then Peter Shakely, your low score, shoots 77, but with the way this field worked out, that was 9th best. That just goes to show the level of competition. But again, only the top 3 individual players from non-team advancing ones go on. So it just, a lot of teams shot very well. A lot of individuals shot very well. How did your team feel like they did out at Glenview, and how do you feel like they look at their entire season?
Yeah, from an entire season, we did a lot of good things. We had a really good season, but I'd be lying if we didn't say that we're disappointed at districts. The fact is we just didn't shoot well enough. And, we had higher scores than we typically have had. The conditions were pretty good. So there really were no excuses. Kind of too bad that none of the schools out of Cincinnati moved on. They were all Dayton schools that moved on for the team. And sometimes it's just the way it goes. Golf, I think, as much as any sport, you can just shoot lights out one day and just not be good enough the next. And that's kind of what happened to us, and same, for the other Cincinnati schools and CHL schools. But yeah, it's too bad. Peter, in particular, as an individual, 76 as an individual made it. He shot 77. Everybody kind of starts to go back through their round and just think about, a putt they rushed or, whatever that could have been the difference. And the good news is, golly, we have just about everybody coming back next year. So it's not like we're graduating a bunch of seniors. We expect to be just a little bit better next year and be playing in Columbus at the end of the season.
Are they looking to basically get right back to training as soon as possible, assuming that some of these kids don't have other sports that they're focusing on?
Well, golfers tend to not just play 3 months out of the year. And, that's how you shoot in the 70s. And that's how – so I every one of our guys will keep on playing. And thankfully, big promoters of multi-sport athletes, they'll do other stuff too. It won't be golf exclusively for most of our kids. And that's the way that I think it should be. But, they're going to get their time in. And I'm sure once the spring comes, they'll really start ramping it up and play a lot in the summer, and they'll be ready to go when we get back to school or next August when the season starts.
And we'll be looking forward to seeing how they use this season as a springboard into next year, as you said, with a lot of talent coming back here. Finally on the show, let's talk about football, because we have football to talk about this week. Enjoyed the week off last weekend, but you're going to draw Oakwood this coming week and to begin the playoff run. They beat Batavia 44-28, and you look at the numbers and they're off the charts. You share the league title with Wyoming because you don't play each other. We talked about that last week. You could see them in a couple of rounds. We'll focus on that down the road, but now that they have their game, they've got a game ready to prepare for. How have they used this past week to try and get ready for this game? And then also, does the approach from the coaching staff change at any now that we're into the playoffs and now that it is potentially, hopefully not, but potentially a one and done scenario? Does the message change? Does the preparation change?
Yeah, I think that their preparation and the messaging is going to be the same as it's been all year. I think our coaches and our kids feel like you may have to do something differently to beat us. We're going to play our game. We're going to try to stay balanced on offense with throwing the ball down the field and running the ball plenty and playing good defense. So, I know our coaching staff went to scout the game, and they said, hey, Oakwood look pretty good, so they know it's definitely not going to be a walkover game.
Sure.
They're going to have our kids excited and ready to go, and we expect Oakwood to give us their best effort, and we're excited to host them here on our campus on Saturday night at 7:00. And the expectation is we play the way we've been playing all year, and things should work out for us. But as soon as you start taking a team too lightly or trying to do things differently, that's when you mess stuff up. So we're not changing anything a bit. And, our practices are pretty intense and our preparation's pretty intense. And I don't see anything differing this week at all.
Looking at the way the bracket plays out, you're the 2 seed. You've got Oakwood here, kind of the 15 seed, I believe. So, they get a playoff win under their belt, and now they get this matchup with your team. And you look at this saying, 2 versus 15, it should be a cakewalk for Indian Hill. But I look at these matchups too as seeing an Oakwood team who's going to come in and play like they have nothing to lose. They're going to throw everything, including the kitchen sink, at you because they, in my mind, would feel like they do have nothing to lose because there aren't a lot of people out there who are giving them much of a shot to beat your team coming into this, given how well your team's played. I mean, my gosh, you've given up 33 points the entire season thus far. Does that come into play when the message is conveyed to the players that, hey, they have nothing to lose here? They know they're on the road, they're the underdog, and they're going to come in and give us everything they've got.
I think that's right, but I think the message has also been that's been every single game in our league this year, that teams feel like that that we have the target on our back and they're giving us their best shot and they don't have anything to lose. So I think it still is comparable, honestly. I think that there isn't any reason in the world that Oakwood's not going to be hyped up to come play us and give us the best shot that they can, but that's what we want. We want a good football game. We want their very best effort. We hope every single one of their kids is healthy and ready to go, just like we want our kids healthy and ready to go. We want a great football game, and we expect that we're going to get it from them. And, you just have to figure out at the end of the day who's the best team, and that's who deserves to move on.
And hopefully for your case, that is your football team, and they can move on to round 3 of the playoffs and improve to 7-0 on the season. Big week we've had here and enjoyed discussing it with this week, Brian. Looking forward to getting back to you next week and seeing what else has in store, maybe a league title or 2. I don't know.
That would be nice. And hopefully we have plenty to talk about next week for sure.
Absolutely. That is Indian Hill Athletic Director Brian Phelps joining us for This Week in Indian Hill Brave Sports here on the all-new IndianHillBraves.org and ESP Media, powered by Sidearm Sports.